It's easy to not want to draw something. Sometimes you don't need to. But if you wanted to be a professional artist, you just have to suck it up and draw the damn thing. And I think the most hated subject to draw, for most artists anyway, is backgrounds. Hold on, I hear you. I know that some artists literally focus on only drawing backgrounds and buildings, and sometimes an artist specializes on only drawing characters and creatures. And that's fine. Sometimes focusing on something makes you valuable for certain roles. But I think only focusing on one subject will be detrimental to your art. You'll keep drawing the same things over and over again, and it will be boring. And you don't know how actually drawing other subjects will make you even better at drawing your favorite subjects. Like drawing perspective will help you draw your characters in more dynamic poses, or drawing compositions will help make your art more balanced and harmonious. And backgrounds make it so you can easily find the lighting for your art and make it more finished than just drawing your characters in a wide void. But I get it, it's hard to draw backgrounds, especially buildings with more structured form and it being hard to render. But no worries, I have some top secret art tips to make it easy to draw backgrounds, so you don't have to deal with boring stuff like perspective, forms, composition, and other boring stuff like that. And as long as you're not using AI, all is fair game. And let's get started. But before we begin, if you wanted to draw backgrounds fast, you should download some stamp brushes. I got these brushes from Devin L. Kurtz's Gumroad page. They're free, but if you are able, you should support her by tipping her while you're at the checkout page. These brushes are available for Photoshop, Clip Studio Paint, and Procreate, and they save you a lot of time from drawing foliages, clouds, and windows by hand. The first step is to skew and warp with the transform tool. Perspective is hard, and instead of drawing it line by line, just make a rectangle and skew it with the perspective transform tool. Most drawing software have this, and it's extremely easy. Just draw the flat facade of the building or furniture, then using the transform tool, skewing it and creating the illusion of depth. Second top secret background hack is drawing over games and 3D assets. Have you ever played Minecraft and think, wow, this landscape is beautiful? Well, this is awkward. Especially with shaders. Fish! Minecraft makes it incredibly easy for you to draw a landscape, especially its randomly generated world. You can have infinite possibility for your landscapes idea, and using mods like Terralis that adds new biomes, or even crazier mods like GG Thunder to the max to make insane massive cinematic biomes to make your art have a grander scale. Or if you want to draw buildings or interiors, you can use the Sims game to build a house and draw over it. But if you don't have Minecraft or the Sims, or you don't want to use it, you can use 3D models to help. Clip Studio Paint has many built-in 3D models, but if you want something more customizable, you can make your own 3D model in a 3D software like Blender or Nomad Sculpt. Here are some examples of my 3D models in Nomad Sculpt. But if you don't have time to learn a 3D software, you can find free 3D models in websites like Sketchfab. You can use 3D models to draw over them, like this 3D model of a BMW by Alex Ka. It's great to use these techniques for drawing complex objects like machines if you're into sci-fi. The third top background shortcut is photobashing. Isn't this cheating? Well, I do think if you overuse photobashing, we'll over-rely on it instead of drawing things by hand. But I do think photobashing is incredibly time-saving art trick if you're in a rush and need to pump art quickly. Just get some images from free stock photo websites and try your best to match the vibes and themes of your paintings. By cutting those images up with the lasso tool and using blend modes like overlay, darker color, lighter color / lighten, they do basically the same thing, and many other blending modes to make your art look seamless while photobrushing. And if it's available, make sure to use transparent images to save your time even more. But if you really don't want it to be a crutch, you can just use your Photobash and use it as a reference instead while you paint it from scratch. The fourth is making an impression of backgrounds without actually drawing the backgrounds. I want you to look at this painting by Claude Monet. It's a beautiful painting of a lake in the sunset. And it might seem complex, right? Wrong! He doesn't even render it. You can clearly see the brushstroke if you'll see it up close. The trick is to make it seem to have details. Most people will see your paintings from very far away, or in very small screen. Instead of being a tryhard and render it every detail, just make it seem to have details by painting deliberate strokes. You will save more time and don't have the hassle to render the backgrounds. Amazing artists like Walt and Snum Does Art does this too. They convey details by painting important strokes without actually drawing them. This is why Impressionist painters like Claude Monet and Edgar Degas are renowned. They don't waste time by painting in the details and looking at the bigger picture. And you can do it too by planning and thinking your artworks first. Look for references and either blurring it or squinting your eyes and painting the things that you see. So you can paint the parts that matter the most instead of rendering the 17th Street signs again. The fifth art background technique is what I like to call the character splash art. Instead of drawing a full background, just draw decorations and items around the character to make it seem to have backgrounds. It's great in that if you really dislike perspective or drawing landscapes and buildings, you just the background as part of your character, and drawing decors and adjacent things to make your art more interesting to look at. Well, I hope you find one of these tips helpful and hope this video made you less afraid of backgrounds. Backgrounds, like living beings, also have characters and personality and make your world feel alive and breathing and make you a more well-rounded artist. And even if you aren't interested in being a background artist, that's fine. And I just hope you are more open-minded to different subjects and so that you have more frame of reference to draw from instead of just drawing the same anime girls every time. Anyways, thanks for watching. Here are some of my other art videos and please like and subscribe so the neighbor from Hello Neighbor doesn't beat my